Hi everyone, welcome. How you doing? Why is the game never showing up when I transition thing? There we go. Hi everyone, welcome back. We're back to another episode of Mineko. Again, there was an idea I have for a series ever. But we have to keep trucking. We have to keep going. We have a ton of game to read through, and if I miss a single stream, we're never gonna make it. We're back. Give me 1 second. I just got a fucking message. Okay, cool. Oh, that's great. Cool, awesome. I just got a great message actually. Anyway, we have to keep going. We have to get in there. We have to read through all the words and know what all these characters have to say. We're fucking back, baby. Oh yeah. I don't know what to say really. I guess before we start, the usual disclaimers. You can do exclamation point to Minekov to get like a list of all the content warnings and trigger warnings for the stream. Most of them are not gonna be what do you call it, relevant for a while, so we should be safe for like I wanna say like even months, right? Obviously like like murder and shit like that. This is a murder mystery, so like we've been through like CTD and BLR and Zero Escape and You Took to Die and whatever. So like I feel like we are a little accustomed to that, but even then all of these things apply. You know. That's basically it. And I also like this stream is very long. This series is very long, so don't do not worry if you don't want to watch it. If you cannot make the time commitment, this stream was for me. So also you're gonna hear my dogs barking in the background. I've tried everything. Then they would not fucking stop. So that's basically it. Let's just get on with it. Let me start this shit. I think it was start. Yeah. Load. There we go. There we go. Okay, there we go. There you go. Perfect. Page 5. Let's get on with it. Let's just continue. Also, why this so? Hang on. The game screen is so big. Can I make it smaller? It's make it sure make it should make it smaller. Hang on, I need to I didn't realize how big it was in my screen. I think I think that should do it. There we go, perfect. Okay, a little bit of a recap, just in case you missed the last stream. There wasn't that much, honestly. We just got acquainted with like the whole, or at least most of the Shiromiya family. We got en route to Rockenshima where the annual family reunion takes place, and we got introduced to like some of like there's something going on, but we don't know exactly what it is. That like it's just like a very like a foreboding sense in the background that we are not sure exactly why it's being caused. But yeah, that's basically it. So let's get on with it. The boat gave a big shudder. Seems we've docked at the harbor. The boat driver came out and jumped to the pier with a mooring rope. A large man in a tuxedo was waiting there for us with a warm smile. Also, I can see the edges of the screen now. So let me handle that for a second. It should be like that. There we go. That's perfect. Okay, let's continue. I didn't recognize his face, but judging by his clothes, I guess he was a servant of the Oshiromiya head household. Also, forgive me if I don't voice everyone like perfectly because like there are like 100 million characters in this game, so I'm gonna get my wires crossed a lot of times. Anyway, welcome home, my lady. You were so late in returning that I began to worry. Thanks for caring. This moron got so scared we had to slow down. I was seriously annoying. Shut up! Someday when the shoes in on the underfoot, you'll remember this. Ugh. At this rate, word will spread through to the whole family, and I'll be the big conversation piece during dinner. Even without this, everyone will be talking about me because of that 6-year gap. But now that I've given them an even juicier topic. Damn it, what do Oshiromiya cat family have to live on this isolated island? In the meantime, the boat had finished its mooring. A small plank was lowered so that we could get down. One by one, our parents came out from inside the boat. You must be all quite tired from your long trip. Madam, please allow me to assist you. Thank you. It's been a while, Gara-san. How are you? I thank you for your concern. It is always my pleasure to serve. Butler-kun, isn't this your first time meeting Goda-san? If I'm not mistaken, you weren't working here 6 years ago, right? Indeed. So please allow me to greet him for the first time. It is an honor meeting you, Butler-sama. I'm pretty confident I'm on my height, but you're huge. My goodness, bro, you're the size of you're built like a brick wall. This is definitely our first meeting. I'll never forget meeting a big guy like you. It's a pleasure. I'm Butler. I was looking forward to meeting you. I am Goda, your servant, and I've been working for the Shiromiya head family since the year before last. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. If there is anything you need, please feel free to rely on me at any time. Goda-san, it's been quite some time. Oh, it has been too long, George-sama. Please allow me to assist you. As usual, you're a pro at welcoming guests. If you need a job, just let me know, okay? I'll carry you anytime. Oh, you do me too much honor. Please allow me to assist you, Hideyoshi-sama. Goda-san then lent a hand to everyone as they disembarked, greeting them as they passed. His speech and mannerisms had the refined polish of a professional. He was very graceful, in contrast with his initially tough-looking appearance. His large size made him seem a bit scary at first, but he was much too polite than my first impression had led me to believe. He claimed he had to have served on the island for 2 years, but he had doubtless worked at a similar job somewhere before. After everybody disembarked, the mooring rope was untied and the boat started to steer away from the harbor. It was probably returning to its home port on Nijima. The captain waved his hand in farewell. Maria conscientiously waved her hand back. Now that I think about it, that must be why I felt something out of place for a while now. I can't hear the cries of the seagulls. I heard them on the main menu, but they're not here now. What's up with that? Seagulls? The birds? If I remember correctly, whenever we came to this island in the past, the seagulls always greeted us with their lively nya nya cries. Because of that, whenever I hear the cries of the seagulls anywhere else, I get the feeling that I'm coming to a family conference. Except for the small part of the island where those of the Shiromiya head family live, Rokkenshima has been left uncultivated, which apparently makes it a paradise for wild birds. Supposedly, there was a cliff somewhere that housed a huge seagull colony, so this island was always full of seagulls. Not having those seagulls here to greet us made me feel a bit lonely. What's wrong, Butler-kun? Oh, on Rosa. Nah, it's nothing really. I was just thinking it's a bit lonely without the cries of the seagulls. Oh, the cries? The cries. My, that is true now that you mention it. Even though they're always so noisy, today there isn't one to be seen. Ooh, why no seagulls? Maybe it's because the seagulls are having a get-together somewhere too. Maria, did you want to see the seagulls? Ooh, wanted to see them. Still, it's a bit strange there isn't even a single one around. Maybe Jessica grilled them all and ate them. Ooh! They haven't said disturbing stuff like that. You get Maria believing it. Ooh! Jessica Oni-chan grilled them. Jessica Oni-chan grilled them! Ooh! I did not! What the hell would I do something like that? That's right. Jessica grilled them. Skin and meatballs, liver and onion. Swimming meatballs, liver and onion. Ooh. That's not what I said. As I made fun of Jessica, Maria tagged along, looking like she was having fun. Ooh, I never guessed she was such a good sport. Alrighty then. From today on, I'll make you my #1 follower on Tumblr. As I smiled at her, she beamed, looking overjoyed, possibly because she was happy about this little connection we made with each other. That's not it, Maria-chan. I've heard wild birds are attuned to changes in the weather, and I'm very pressure. The weather will probably get worse tonight. The seagulls may have returned to their nests earlier. Ooh, not grilled? Jessica Oni-chan didn't grill them? No! I wouldn't do something like that. Butler, you admit right now that you lied. Butler-kun, Maria-chan is a naive girl. She takes even jokes seriously. You should choose your jokes more carefully. Not funny, did not laugh. George Aniki gently scolded me. Even though I outstripped Aniki in height, Aniki was Aniki, of course. There was no choice but to obediently apologize. Liz, I know that sounds bad. Sure, my bad. Maria, that was a joke. The seagulls are all taking it easy in their nests today, that's all. Butler lied? George Oni-chan told the truth? Has she actually been tricked, despite all the fun she was having? Her pure eyes made me feel guilty. Maybe I went a little overboard with her after all. Yeah, that's right. What George Aniki said is true. The weather is bad, so they probably went home for the day. Doesn't mean they're gone. Right, Aunt Rosa? That's right. Tomorrow, when the weather gets better, I'm sure they'll come back so we can hear them cry meow, like they always do. Ooh, I'll wait until the weather gets better and they come back. Gonna wait until tomorrow. Gonna wait until the weather's better. Ooh. Maria was in a lighter mood and was looking forward to tomorrow, when the seagulls will come back and fill the skies. Still, George Aniki really was amazing at taking care of kids. I think I remember Aniki taking good care of me as well when I was a brat 6 years ago. Aniki, that's probably your gift. George-kun is amazing at taking care of young kids. If you wanted to, I bet you'd do great with a job in childcare, don't you think? Yeah, it's almost like George Nissan was born to do something like that. Personally, I think that suits you best. That you're better than doing business in some company president's office. Oh no, childcare is a fine career path, but it's not a job when merely liking children is enough. You really are modest, George-kun. But Butler-kun is quite good with children too. Just a second ago, even though it didn't last long, Maria seemed to be having a lot of fun. Please keep playing on her. Keep on playing with her like you just did just now. Just choose your jokes more carefully, okay? Aunt Rosa winked at me, giggling a little. She's a real mother, I thought to myself, who's happy to see Maria having fun. Oh, come on, Rosa. And you brats too, what the hell are you doing? Let's get going. Okay, we're coming. The old bastard was waving for us to hurry up. Yeah, we need to get moving. We may as well have this conversation after setting our luggage down in our rooms. Now then. Everyone, allow me to lead you to the guest house, where you will be spending the night. Please, this way. Goda-san called to everyone and led the way. Kumasawa-san brought up the rear. And I was just make the long trek up the long staircase, up the mountain. A serpentine twisting path led through a dim forest. It ran a bit uphill. I guess the path was made all twisty so the slope wouldn't seem too steep. But personally, I had been happier if they had the guts to make some stairs in a straight line. No doubt they made the path twist on purpose to put on airs of distance and importance. Before long, we saw garden-style stone steps. From here on, I do have some memories. Go up these and... at the top of the stone steps, we saw a beautiful guest house. Its facade was lovely, of course, but more importantly, we couldn't enter these doors without having our hearts stolen away by the splendor of the beautiful rose gardens spreading before it.
Oh, it sounds beautiful as ever this year. A real delight for the eyes. Oh.
After climbing the stone steps, the people greeted by this rose garden gave voice to the impressions one by one. Is it just me, or are the flowers a little less lively this year? It's probably because it wasn't a hot summer.
I also believe that was a factor. Sadly, this year's blooming is a tad inferior when compared to last year's.
Even so, it was a delightful rose garden. I remember that even 6 years ago, huge number of roses had greeted us every year. This rose garden was the first thing that greeted the people who came to Rokkenshima. Even our parents, who came every year, couldn't help but give voice to their admiration. In fact, it seemed it had undergone a power-up from the garden of my memories of 6 years ago. This place is always so amazing. It would be wonderful to have a rose garden like this at home.
Give it up. Who do you think would take care of it? Roses are a real pain with bugs and diseases to worry about.
Well, from what I heard, Kiri-Nesan takes care of every rose every day and makes sure no bugs get anywhere near it, right?
Huh? What are you talking about? Hello? What the fuck? Hello?
Nah, that's right. That's right. Even though in this person's case, the rose goes after the insects like some nasty carnivorous plant.
Oh, so that's what you mean. You're saying women shit. Okay, I get it now. Come on, Rosa. Can you give that a rest just for today? I put that sort of thing completely behind me.
I wonder. After all, you're a womanizer on an almost genetic level. No need to worry, Rosa-san. When a rose gives you too much trouble, it's always best to snip it at a root.
Such frightening talk that is. Guys got problems with the ladies are always forced to live dangerously. I sure hope I turn out a bit prettier in my next life.
Hideyoshi-san, like I keep saying, it isn't like that at all. And Kiri, stop it, you're freaking me out.
You made my rose wilt.
Hey Maria, look over there, look over here. These roses are especially magnificent. Magnificent roses. Ooh. Smells pretty sweet. Look, this suits my elegance perfectly. Hey, cut it out. Maria's gonna imitate you and get hurt by the thorns. She yelled at me as I leaned in to smell the rose's scent with an exaggerated gesture. I thought she was overreacting, but when I turned around, I saw Maria imitating my every gesture and Josh Aniki smiling broadly at us. Hey now, Maria-chan, be careful. Rose thorns can hurt. Josh Oni-chan, only this rose is strange. Strange? What's wrong? Maria pointed at a single rose. I immediately understood why she found it odd. In the midst of all these magnificent roses, only one single rose was just starting to wilt. There wasn't any particular reason. Some roses flourished and others wilt. That's all there was to it. But Maria seemed to be very concerned about one the one unhealthy one in the group. It must have made him feel lonely. So you feel sad for this Rose because it's the only one that isn't healthy. Ooh, the other ones are healthy, but this one's sad. Well, they all bloom and wither at their own paces. I bet this one's just starting to wilt early because it got to bloom before any of the other ones. Yeah, that's right. He probably just bloomed like crazy, fulfilled his duty and went to sleep. You shouldn't get so worked up about it. Ooh. It seemed that Maria's pure sensitive heart was making her feel some emotional pain for the rose that wilted alone. Even though she understood the logic of it, it still felt lonely to her. Then, Maria-chan, why don't you look after this rose until we leave? George Aniki straightened up and felt around his pocket. Then he took up the wrapper from the candy he had been sucking on the plane. He twisted it into a thin string, then gently tied it to the rose as a sort of marker. Hey, that's pretty cute. Let's mark it with this. Later on, you can come and give it some water. I'm pretty sure Mr. Rose will be happy. Ooh, come to give it some water. I think you should give Mr. Rose a name. I'm sure that'll make it happy, and you'll get to know it a little bit better. A name? A name. Ooh. Though she still wore her usual sullen face, Maria crossed her arms and began to consider this intently. At the very least, she appeared to have been completely pulled out of her slump. Nice going, Aniki. Also, give me 1 second, I'm gonna... Okay, sorry, there were... George Nissan has always been really understanding. Can't help but respect him. Yeah, I guess he was just born that way. We gotta start picking up tips. What is garden just as magnificent when you were all kids? It was only after I stopped living here that it would grow so big. Before that, the garden was simpler, though I'm still attached to that one. Nissan fiddled with it too much, with that vaguely bad taste of his. I liked it much better before. However, you gotta think positive. Setting aside how he used to look, his beauty now is something to be admired. You'll be able to relax a lot better if you look at it that way. I didn't mean it like that. I was just saying that I wanted you to see this garden the way it was before too. Everyone, if you please. I shall guide you to your rooms now. Goda-san called to everyone to ask if we were ready, but our hearts had been completely stolen away by the rose garden that none of us had seen for a year, so we didn't pay much attention to him. Since we were in a travel group, it wasn't like we had a strict schedule to follow. Besides, since the parents were visiting their old home, full of nostalgia, it wasn't like they had to let themselves be urged on by anyone or anything. Understanding the situation, Goda-san continued to wait, smiling widely, until our parents got tired of the roses and told him to guide us to our rooms. Which is what he wanted to do in the first place, like, why is being so anal about it? Hey! If it isn't Connor, good! It's been so long, how you doing? Uncle Hideyoshi suddenly shouted. In the direction he was waving was a slender boy. Meeting him right after a huge man like Goda probably emphasized his small stature. The boy was in the middle of transporting piled up gardening tools and the like in a wheelbarrow. When he realized he was being called to stop, he set down the wheelbarrow, took his hat off, and bowed his head. Good afternoon. I figured he was probably younger than me, and I realized by the general atmosphere surrounding him that he was another servant. He greeted us in response to Uncle Hideyoshi's call, but he seemed like he might be pretty unsociable most of the time. It was a greeting that lacked feeling. When Godan-san noticed that our interest had shifted toward him, he went to the boy's side and introduced him to us.
Butler-sama, allow me to introduce you. This is one of the servants of the Yoshiramiya head's household. Canon-san, greet our guest.
I'm pleased to meet you. I am the servant, Canon. Yep, my first impression wasn't wrong. He seemed to be unsociable, or at least not so good at talking. Compared to Goda-san, who was extraordinarily polished as a servant, you couldn't help but feel an inexperience typical of his age. When Goda-san urged him in a whisper to give a bit more of an introduction, the boy-named Canon only cast his eyes downwards.
Canon-san, could you perhaps give a little more of a greeting?
No. Because we are furniture. He didn't seem to be refusing to greet us out of spite. Rather, he seemed to have fallen silent because he didn't know what else to say to us in greeting. Well, Kanankan's shy and doesn't tend to talk much. He may not be that sociable, but deep down he's a really a good person. Don't get him wrong. You've been working here for 3 years, haven't you? Pretty sure you started a year before Goda-san, right? Even though he wasn't exactly given a terrible first impression, Jessica hurriedly backed him up. I see. Apparently his unsociable nature causing him a lot of trouble.
Okay then, nice to meet you. I'm Butler. I'm 18, how old are you?
He fell silent, as though wondering whether or not it was a question he'd have to answer. But here again, Jessica plowed ahead. If I remember correctly, Canon's 2 years younger than us, so 16, right? Yes, that is correct. It looked like he would have preferred not to tell us his age if given the choice. That was probably because he thought we'd look down on him for it. I remember when I was around his age, I hated being asked how old I was by adults. I see. Okay. Hi, I'm back. I don't know why that happened. I don't know why I cannot. I tried to. Okay, in case you didn't know, my hard drive like ran out of space, like out of nowhere. So like I tried to delete some stuff to like free up some space, but like it's not going down. So like I don't know what's up with that. So like I just moved my recording folder to like another hard drive. So that's it should be fine, I think. So fingers crossed. I'm gonna have to check that out of the stream. Anyway, let's continue. Which means I probably have something I shouldn't have. I'm glad you're about our age. Just be cool and call me Butler, okay? And I'll call you Canon. Oh, thank you very much. But the sentiment alone is sufficient, Butler-sama. Jessica looked panicky for some reason. She seemed to think my impression of Canon was getting worse because of his refusal. Well, as a girl, Jessica probably couldn't understand the fretful male heart at this age. As his elder, even by just two years, I took it upon myself to be understanding of that. Canon-sir, could you perhaps be a little more courteous? A smiling face is also a part of a servant's duty. My apologies. I shall make an effort.
Is this enough?
Oh, Kada-san, Canon could try his best, yes? It looked like he was often warned about being unsociable, and apparently he hadn't improved one bit. Why do you say like that? One bit? Kada-san kept his business smile, but let a small sigh of resignation escape. Well then, I still have work to do. If you'll excuse me. It looked like Canon himself was uncomfortable with remaining silent any longer. After another perfunctory bow, he turned around and started pushing the wheelbarrow again. Just then, the wheelbarrow suddenly wobbled and fell, scattering the load. I guess the wheelbarrow's single wheel got caught on a pebble and lost its balance. What do you think you... what do you think you're doing? Now, clean it up quickly. Godasan urged him to hurry in a quiet voice, as though hinting that it was shameful for a servant to appear clumsy in front of guests. Canon wordlessly reloaded the wheelbarrow with the fallen objects, as if to say that he understood quite well without being told. He seemed to be fine with the light-looking gardening tools, shovels and such, but he looked like he was having trouble getting his arms around and lifting up some sack of fertilizer. Are you okay? Oh, you're so careless. Here.
My lady, you're dirty your garments. Please, leave this to us.
With a smooth motion, Godasan took the shovel that Jessica had picked up. Behind him, Canon-kun was having trouble with the sacks of fertilizer. Ooh, you'll dirty your garments? Don't worry, the ones I'm wearing aren't that expensive. Besides, I hate guys who just sit there and make the waitress pick up the fork they dropped at a restaurant. I lifted up the bags that had fallen. Of course, they weren't light, but for me it was a piece of cake. Like, come on. Canon-kun looked at me, surprised. It was the face of someone who never would have expected to receive help from a guest. Butler-sama, don't worry about it. I'll take care of everything, so... don't you worry. I may not look it, but I got it when it counts. Since Kaneko looked like he hadn't yet gone through his growth spurt, he was stuck with a sort of weak body. This kind of weight might have been too much for him. It is quite heavy. It is natural that it would be difficult for you. Don't worry about Canon-kun. Okay, my time to shine. This makes up for that boat stuff from before, right? Ha! As if this could make up for freaking out like that. Later I'll tell you about it too, Canon-kun. Butler was totally hilarious. Gonna fall! Ooh! Can you believe that shit, lol? As they did this, I piled all the stuff back into the wheelbarrow. I beg your forgiveness for letting you witness such unsightliness. Come now, that's quite enough. Please go. Letting the guests who were supposed to feel welcome see such a disgraceful thing must have been hideously embarrassing for the servant. Pressed by Godap to hurry up and go, Canon-kun left. You're too harsh on him, Goda-san. Shouldn't you just have helped him instead of being a bully? That was wrong of me. I deeply implore your forgiveness. Without even a twitch in his smile, Goda-san apologized elegantly.
Oh, Canon-kun has a lot of things he's good at too. It's just that being young works against him all the time. It's a great shame.
Well, it's a prickly age. Let's just leave him be.
Let's just kill him.
After all, close-mouthed servants are the best kind.
Isn't that right, Kumasawa-san? Oh, Rodo-sama, you truly are harsh. There is no servant as silent as me, of course.
Everyone smiled wryly at that obvious lie. Even she herself didn't believe that, not in her wildest dreams. So she must have said it to lighten the mood. Yeah, that's the kind of character Kumasawa Bahachan used to be. The once stiff atmosphere had cleaned up at once, thanks to her cheerful smile. I'd like to set down our luggage soon. Gata-san, what rooms are we all going to take?
It shall be the same as the previous year. Allow me to guide you. Please, this way.
We headed towards a trim, elegantly simple guest house. This was going to be our temporary quarters for the night. Hmm. Cannon watched over a hedge as the guests all entered the guest house. Then he let his eyes fall on those heavy sacks of fertilizer, piled up in the wheelbarrow. In his mind, he had kept going over his previous mistake. Butler, big and strong, had picked up the sacks in front of him. The sacks Cannon couldn't lift himself, as if they were feathers. It would be extremely difficult for an outside observer to guess what emotions that favor has stirred up in Cannon. But as far as you could tell by watching him hand his head, there was something that he couldn't let go of. Muttered words escaped his lips, but those words he murmured were so soft that they didn't reach even his own ears. Even I... Oh, sorry, that's the Cannon. Even I... Cannon hung his head, slightly biting his lower lip. Let me drink some water while we are transitioning. I remember the Rose Garden, but I don't remember this guest house at all. Was it built recently? Torayan, visitor's retreat, was written on a gate post-like thing. But since everyone called it the guest house, I followed their lead. The brand new Western-style guest house, which stood overlooking the roses, had a magnificent design, carefully done, which I didn't read the last part for some reason, carefully done in harmony with the garden. Correct! It was built the year before last. Ever since then, they've had us sleep over here. This place is more fun than the yonky old mansion you knew. I wish my room was over here. Ooh, I want a room here too. I want one. I guess you could say my own house was upper class, but to me, it felt completely ordinary compared to the head house, the head family. The display of wealth was shocking, as was the fact that they'd built this kind of awesome guest house for guests who came over only a few times a year. Iwasama, Hideyoshi-sama, please, do make use of this room. Rudolph-sama, Kiria-sama, please take this room here. I really do love how beautiful and elegant this place is. Western-style architecture truly is wonderful. Oh, I can handle Western design for a few days, but any longer than that, and you need the good old Japanese look. Japanese people just relax based on tatami mats. They've been fighting over whether to make our new house Japanese style or Western style. Mom still has a grudge about Dad having the construction started with a Japanese layout, and they bicker all the time about it. I'm really jealous, George Nissan. Your parents get along well, don't they? Mine are so frosty. Then again, they're always in sync when it comes to my grades. All the rooms seemed to be for two people. I was grateful, since I wasn't gonna be forced to share the same room with the old bastard, under the pretext that we were family. And anyway, I figured those two wouldn't be able to enjoy themselves with someone like me around. Ugh, what's with the creepy smile? You're thinking about something dirty, aren't you? Something dirty? Of course not. Please enjoy your stay. Ow, ow, ow! That hurts, you old bastard! Once again, Dad pulled my ears from behind. Cut the crap! I'm getting a stomachache, and I'm not in the mood for this. You're the guest of honor this time around, so play as nice as possible with Dad and Aniki and the rest. At the very least, be careful what you say in front of Dad, got it? Because wisecracks don't go too well with him. Jessica-chan, what's the head's mood been like lately? Same as last year, I guess. Considering they say he's got 3 months left to live, he's as lively. grumpy and irritable as ever. Meaning this year he's in his usual bad mood. And as usual, the only one who's able to look after him is Genji-san. It seems the master will open his heart to no one else. Lately, us small people have not been granted an audience with him. He shut himself in his study again, probably doing nothing but that weird black magic of his. What does he have? What does he? What he does for a hobby in his own damn business? But when he starts stinking up the house, it really gets on my nerves. I wish he could never come out and study again. You shouldn't talk like that about the elderly. We're all indebted to him since he rebuilt the Oshiromiya family. We should be more grateful. Well, sorry. After being rebuked by George Aniki, Jessica had no choice but to take back her thoughtless remark. The Oshiromiya family was wealthy beyond belief, but of course that meant all its members were a bit strange and completely out of touch with the world at large. And at the top of the chain, the family head, our grandfather, seemed especially strange and terrifying, even for our own family. That said, he was getting a stomachache earlier, and I imagine that reflected the honest feelings of all the adults here today. No doubt they were jealous of us grandchildren, who could just play around and laugh without a care. From the stories Dad told me, the family head was a violent man who ruled with his fist, beating his children, even his daughters, mercilessly with a wooden sword. If he was so strict and uptight about that, why couldn't he have been a little more conservative with his kids' names? Because of that, even us grandkids have had to suffer. Anyway, I can't say I have any trouble believing those terrifying stories about him. I don't remember meeting him very often, but I think I recall him looking extremely grumpy all the time, always making people cower with that sharp gaze of his. I remember that the room's atmosphere got so tense whenever he was around that you couldn't even breathe. What my dad what my dad said about me being the guest of honor now carries a little more oomph to me. 6 years ago I was in elementary school, but I'm a high schooler now. If I act up, things could get serious. Ooh, scary. He do looks frightening, but he's not so terrifying that you need to tense up like that. Nothing of what he says is truly unreasonable. He might be clumsy at talking, but he's a very logical person. But Judge Nissan, you've been the family darling since like forever because of your awesome grades, right? Grandfather treats us completely different. I've gotten slapped with a I've even gotten slapped with a wooden sword. On my ass! Can you believe that? It's fucking... Dude, come on, it's 2023! Whatever she said. Well, you're the heiress to the head family, Jessica-chan. Grandfather is giving you special attention. You got to realize that his strictness reflects his high hopes on you. Oh, come on. Seriously? I could just turn the succession over to you, Judge Nissan. It's a bit of a heavy burden for me to carry. I think I said it before, but Jessica's the girl heir to the family head. To the head family, sorry. We are only cousins in branch families, so she probably feels she probably feels a totally different sort of pressure than we do. Give me 1 second. Ooh, just how Nichan is that heavy? If I help hold it, will it get lighter? Thanks, it's okay. I'm not gonna push it on you, Maria. I'm gonna bear this cross into my grave. Don't worry. She was grateful for Maria's innocent concern, But Jessica's face still seemed to contain some of the uneasiness she felt towards the future. Maybe we were in the same boat. Any high schooler with exams approaching would have trouble hiding their anxiety for the future. Now, Maria, come here. You and I will be in this room. Butler-kun, I heard you're gonna be with me in this room here. Oh? Now there's a surprise. It's bigger than our parents' room, dang! Well, I figured we cousins would all want to hang out together, so I told them to get a bigger room ready. Ooh, I like it here more too. I'd rather be here than with Mama. Ooh. Oh, you like it here better too, Maria? Okay, this room is George's and mine. We will give you a special permission to come in. Better keep it a secret from your mom, okay? Shh, I got to say too loud. Ooh, it's a secret. Aunt Rosa was right behind us, but Maria still answered, striking the air with his fists clenched tight. After settling down their luggage in their rooms, our parents had gathered around again in the corridor. Hey, what are you brats planning to do? Are you cousins just gonna stay here and chat? It seemed they were heading to the mansion to announce their arrival. Normally, they wouldn't make us follow them and greet everyone together. But if that been the case, Dad would just have told us to come and that'd be the end of it. He's saying it's okay if we don't come, so what we'll do? Well, it's gonna be lonesome before long anyway. Better let the kids unwind here. Besides, if worse comes to worse, this may be the last chance to play outdoors. Woohoo! I'll go too. Maria, you house sit for Mama, okay? Behave yourself and wait here. Ooh. Since Maria was being told to house sit here, we certainly couldn't leave her on her own. George Aniki noticed this immediately and gave her a clear reply for all his cousins. Well then, we'll accept your offer and house sit. We got lots of stories to tell each other after being away for a year. That sounds wonderful. And Butler-kun has 6 years worth of stories to tell, doesn't he? Yeah. I'll take care of the house like a good boy. Kumasawa-san, I'll stay here too. We'll break rank and leave the rest of the adults. Perhaps that would be best. I reported to Madame. Then, allow me to guide you all to the mansion. This way, please. The other children are one thing, but Josh is getting to be an adult. Wouldn't it be better if he came with us? If we make him come, then poor George will be the only one out of place. Interacting with his cousins is also important. Okay, see you later. Bye. The adults left one after the other. They left in the same formation as our trip from the harbor, with Goda-san leading and Kumasawa-san taking up the rear. As we gathered in the room assigned to us cousins, George Aniki asked us to excuse him for a second. Execute him? He rushed over to Kumasawa-san, who was following behind the disappearing adults, and seemed to ask her for something. He soon finished his business and came back. What's up, Aniki? Nothing. I just wanted to ask her something. Ooh. Tell me too. What could George Nissan be asking Kumasawa-san about me, I wonder? I don't have a clue. No, it's a misunderstanding. Not that I know why you're misunderstanding. I don't know. What are you talking about? Aniki was getting pretty tongue-tied. It was almost as though he felt guilty about something, and Jessica knew exactly what he was worried about. At any rate, it was no fun if Jessica gets to know about it and not me. Hey, Maria, it looks like we're the only two out of the loop, right? What's going on here, huh? Don't you want to know what they're talking about? Ooh, We wanna know too. We wanna know too. Ooh, 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 ooh. I fooled around while oohing together with Maria. No, I'm telling you, it's no big deal. Come on, come on. That is so bad. Liar. I'm surprised you tell such a horrible lie, Aniki. Confess, come on. Maria, you took his right side, I'll take his left. Ooh, I got his right side, but Battlestar got his left. Ooh. Wait a second. Oh. Wait, you too. Come on. Stop. Maria and I played around, chasing George Aniki as he tried to escape, rolling on the bed. I realized high schoolers aren't supposed to bounce around like kittens, but I still miss this kind of fun. A warm, cozy kind of fun. George Nissan, what are you asking Akumasawa-san? Hmm? Well, I got a good guess. It's been a year since the last time we visited the Head family. Who knows what servants might have come and gone during that time. Either way, it looks like he'd like to go and say hi. Ooh? Say hi. I wanna say hi too. What the hell? That's nothing to feel guilty about, Aniki. Hmm? I'm not buying it. Maria, don't be fooled. Aniki's still hiding something. More torture, come on. Uria! Stop it, seriously. Maria-chan, you two, stop it already. She's probably busy cleaning or getting lunch ready. Don't worry, she'll drop by to say hi sooner or later. Maria, get him! Kill him! Also, hi, Tara. I'll bet you'd rather be welcomed by Shannon rather than the noisy Goda. Shannon? Shannon. Oh, yeah, I remember that girl with that name. Is she still a servant? How's she doing? I guess we don't know. Who the fuck is that? They're just throwing names at us. Also, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I wanna get something. Hang on. Yeah. Whatever, no, no. Umineko is done forever, so we're just never gonna know who Shannon is. Or I mean, um, voice acting takes it out of me. So check this out. You're gonna be listening to the Japanese voice acting. You can read over here. I'm gonna be reading for a second, okay? This we're watching a movie now. Check it out.
最近頭痛の方はどうなんや一時だいぶしんどそうにしとったろ
おかげで最近はだいぶ調子がいい
ドン
です。
メフォルト
心配をしてくれてありがとう。そうだ、これ。
あ、これさん。
酒は我が友だ。
夏日姉さんにお土産。 いつもありがとう。あなたには何かをもらってばかりね。これは紅茶？
ペパーミントとレモンバームのハーブティー。頭痛によく効くって有名なお店のブレンドなの。姉さんにも効くかなって思って。
I should probably read that. Rosa was always a conscientious woman. Probably because she was the youngest of four, and much younger than the other three. She managed to grow up without gaining the venomous nature of her siblings. Her kind words got Natsuki to soften her expression for just a moment, but it wasn't enough to melt her stony gaze, hardened as it was by long years of mental stress.
そういえばあなた、いっつも頭痛だって言ってたわね。しっかりなさいな。ジェシカちゃん、今年は受験でしょ？人生の節目じゃない。母親のあなたがそんなじゃ頼りないわよ。それに夏日姉さん、私より3つも若いんだから。もうちょっとしっかりなさい。
I love this meal from Mill Violence. It's awesome.
ごめんなさい。生まれつきの頭痛持ちなもので。Even under normal circumstances, Eva sometimes failed to choose her words carefully, but her comments aimed at Natsuki contained shards of obvious malice, though she hid it with a smile. Yeah, milk for milk hostility, let's go. I fucking love that shit. Of course, that fact didn't escape Natsuki. She frantically contained her urge to grimace and pretended to ignore Eva.
うちのバトラ君も今年は受験でしょ？ルドルフさんも少しは関心を持ったら？自分の息子のために夏日姉さんみたいに頭痛になるくらい真剣になりなさいよ。
俺が何か言えば必ず反抗するやつだぜ。じゃあなんて言うんだ。むしろ逆で遊んでていいぞっていうのか？あいつそういうのだけは素直に聞きやがるぜ。秀吉兄さんのところは受験本当にうまくいったじゃないですか。ぜひ子供操縦術の秘訣を教えてくださいよ。
そうやな。何のために勉強するのかっちゅうことを説いたかもしれんな。個々の勉強に意味があるわけやないんや。そう、勉強っちゅうのはわからんことを自分で調べて身につけるという行為の練習なんや。これができんやつは社会に出ても使い物にならん。国語算数ができろと言ってるんやない。勉強し身につけることを学べっちゅうことやな。
ご立派ですわ。うちのジェシカにもそれが理解できればいいんだけど、今のままではとてもじゃないけど、後宮家の跡取りとしては。いいじゃないの、無理に跡取りにしなくても。女には女の幸せというものもあるんだし、それを親が押し付けちゃ悪いわよ。
予算買えば子供の育て方は家それぞれや。押し付けがましいのはあかんで。
ごめんなさい。夏日姉さんも気を悪くしないでね。
I don't know. Does it really have to be the heiress? Like my child could be, you know. If she doesn't want it, I'm just saying. I mean, it doesn't have to be you. Or, I don't care that good things are happening to you. They should happen to me instead, I believe. I just bit down on my fucking biscuit, kind. Though the light shining in through the window was quite warm despite the cloudy weather, there was a dark mood about the room, which was probably causing headaches for more than just Natsuki. As if to sweep away that mood, Kyrie brightly made a suggestion to all present.
でも 本当に素敵な香りの紅茶ね。早速いただいてみましょうよ。レオポルドの紅茶なんて日本じゃ確か銀座でしか買えなかったはずよ。
キリエ姉さんはお詳しいですね。買ってきた甲斐がありました。
Kiri and Rosa stood up from their seats and made as if to prepare the black tea, but Natsuki forestalled them.
お二人ともありがとう。それは後でいただきましょう。うちの者がすぐお茶を持ってきますので、どうぞおくつろぎください。
二人とも後にしろよ。ウェルカムドリンクくらいごちそうになろうぜ。
Go on. I think I should encourage the words. Actually, yeah. Hey, if it's more pressure, just give it to me. I'll do something with it. I suppose I can be trusted with large amounts of wealth. Rudolph gave a subtle signal from his eyes to them to sit down again. Kiri and Rosa understood instantly and obediently returned to their seats. The initial greeting of their guests was complete, so it was time for them to be served some tea. It was embarrassing for the host that the tea was late, especially now that the guests were talking about making tea themselves. Natsuki bit her lower lip, frustrated by the ineptitude of the servants who were late bringing in the tea. Seeing her face, Eva immediately started to giggle. No. Of course, Shannon had no way of knowing what was taking place in the parlor. She came pushing a serving cart piled with teacups. For no apparent reason, Natsuki gave her a pained look, and Shannon couldn't help but flinch without knowing what she had done wrong. Oh, poor Shannon. Also, oh my god, we found her.
失礼いたします。お茶のご用意をさせていただきます。
おう、シャノンちゃん、久しぶりやの。ますますべっぴんさんになりよったな。
いえ、どうも。
Don't touch me.
おしゃべりは配膳を済ませてからになさい。お茶が冷めます。申し訳ございません。
Mean to her? Fuck you. Die. She apologized like a small frightened animal, bumped against the serving cart, and made a jarring racket as she dropped several teaspoons. Her clumsiness made Natsuki's expression turn even darker, which made Shannon quail even more.
いいのよ、夏日姉さん。挨拶の一つくらいしたってどうってことないわよ。もう十分待たされてる分、十分お茶も冷めてるもの。
それは大丈夫です。冷めてはおりませんので。シャノン、早く配膳を済ませなさい。失礼しました。
Oh, she's mad. Oh, I'm sorry. Natsuki's irritation was obvious right now. The ineptitude that delayed the tea, the clumsiness of the servant. Everything pointed to the incompetence of Natsuki's everyday leadership, making her lose face. As the person in charge of the Ushiromiya head family's kitchen, allowing that clumsiness to be exposed, today of all days, was surely nothing less than total humiliation.
よせよ、夏日姉さん。シャロンちゃんだって頑張ってるのに、いじめちゃかわいそうだぜ。
Stop bullying her, bitch!
い
How
じめ
fucking
て
dare
なんか
you?
いません。
いい香りね。お茶の銘柄を聞いてもいいかしら。
申し訳ございません。後ほど調べてまいります。
Oh, I thought the game like froze. No, it's okay. It's just the line just like skipped for some reason. TV was trying to be nice, hoping to cut through the tense mood. However, Shannon had embarrassed herself instead, darkening Natsuki's face and the room's mood. By this point, Eva was audibly giggling.
なーに？シャノンちゃん、自分で入れてるものが何かもわからないの？
Oh, that's because I laced it with poison, with
ダメ
cocaine.
よ。そんな怪しげなものを来客に振る舞っちゃ。こんなお茶じゃ銀のスプーンでもないと飲めないわよ。
すみません。すぐに用意を。
ねえシャノンちゃん、銀のスプーンって何に使うか知ってる？
Josh is falling for it. Stop fucking bullying Shannon. I'm gonna kill all of them. Now I know why they all deserve to die. I get it.
銀じゃないとダメなのよ。なぜかわかる？
いえ、
Stop being mean to her. You're being mean to her? You're being mean to her. I say. A teasing smile rose to... Did I say that right? A teasing smile rose to Eva's face as she stared at Shannon setting the table. By itself, as Eva's expression was sweet and in an impish sort of way. However, the words being spun from her lips held the keenness of a reason within them. Shannon literally just walked in like, he whimpered, and then she immediately got attacked by like a million knives. Like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Like, what is the problem? What is the fucking issue? Also, chat, I've decided to just let the Japanese voices voice act for me, and I'm just gonna read the narration if that's okay with y'all. And if that's not okay with y'all, that's the door. I'm not gonna keep voice acting. Otherwise, we're gonna end after 2 hours. Let's go. Shannon tried with all her might to avoid Eva's continuing gaze. Realizing that Shannon was hard pressed for an answer, Rosa gave some timely help.
銀は毒に触れると曇るって言われてるの。シャノンちゃんも一つお勉強ができたわね。
They were acting as though that this tea needed to be tasted for poison before it could be drunk. In Natsuki's eyes, this was both an insult both to the tea and to herself for serving it. Rudolph laughed flippantly and patted Eva's shoulder.
姉貴に銀食器なんていらねえだろ。毒舌の姉貴が一舐めしたら銀の皿だって真っ黒に曇っちまうぜ。
わしはその毒舌を毎日聞かされとるからもう毒に耐性がついてしもたわ。エヴァもわし相手には構わんが耐性のない相手にはちいと加減せんとな。
あらあらひどい。シャノンちゃんにお茶の知識を教えてあげただけじゃない。
I was just asking questions. Come on, I was just spouting facts. Personally, I was just saying, sharing some trivia. Isn't it trivia night tonight? That's what I've heard. Everyone followed the lead set by Hideyoshi's horse laugh and chuckled, though not easily. Only Natsuki didn't join in, but for the time being, the conversation inside the parlor could not be mistaken for a lively and friendly chat. As Shannon finally finished setting the tea table and tried to leave, Kiri apologized to her in a low voice for not being able to help. Shannon gave a light bow and made a hasty retreat. Okay, she's cool then. She's the only real one over here. Also, hang on, I think I hear something outside. Give me a second. Okay, no, sorry, I was mistaken. I thought it was my foot. Anyway. Shannon cast her eyes downwards as she pushed the cart down the corridor. Anyone seeing the pitiful way she looked might easily conclude that she'd been bullied in some way, which she was, and I'm gonna kill all of them for that.
気を落とさないで。姉さんは何も悪くない。
見てたのね。
そういうお役目だから。奥様もエヴァ様も地獄へ落ちろ。
That's what I'm saying.
でも、
That's what I'm saying.
それより卑劣なのはあいつだ。
Cannon glared hatefully in the opposite direction of the parlor. The preparation for the tea had been delayed by some trifling problems in the kitchen. These problems were not Shannon's fault. In fact, it had been Goda's mistake. After all, there was no way a show-off like Goda would give up a flashy job like bringing in tea when the guests arrived. He had ended up wasting time preparing the tea once again. So, when he realized he wouldn't be able to score any points for this job, he pushed the task of setting the table on Shannon, who happened to be passing by. You may call it a clever move on his part, but there could be no doubt that it was a cowardly one.
いいの。ありがとう、カノン君。私、全然気にしていないし。
Oh, Cannon. Cannon's silence vividly expressed. Sorry, Shannon. Cannon's silence vividly expressed the distance between Shannon's words and how she actually felt.
ありがとう。カノン君だけでも分かってくれたんで、ちょっと心が楽になったかな。
姉さんは心にいろいろ溜め込みすぎる。たまには自分に優しくしてあげて。
ありがとうね。
Suddenly, they both felt someone's presence and whirled around. A middle-aged man stood there. It was Genji, the head servant.
そこで何をしている？シャノン、早く厨房に戻りなさい。
はい、失礼いたしました。
Shannon humbly obeyed and promptly made to push the cart and leave. However, Cannon appealed to Genji in silence, bearing something in his eyes that could not be expressed in words.
どうした？何かあったか？
シャノンは何も悪くないのに。あいつら。
やめて、カノン君。
Oh, Cannon.
失礼しました。
No, but he's right though. He's right. Let him cook. Let him cook. He's cooking.
カノン君も自分の
He's cooking. Let him
持ち場に戻っ
cook.
てお願い。
姉さんがそう言うなら。
He's so real for this.
何事もないならそうしなさい。
はい。失礼します。
From the shadows in the hallway, an old woman wearing an apron watched over them. It was Kumasawa.
おいたわしや。シャノンさん、カノンさん。あの二人がいじめられる理由は何もないのです。
She gets it. She's so real for that. True.
ゴーダさんに嫌われているのは紛れもない。
Then let's kill him.
ゴー
Let's
ダ
just
さ
kill
んは
him.
後ろ宮本家へいらっしゃられるまで、どこかの立派なホテルにお勤めだったそうです。そこで身につけられたというお仕事ぶりは、そりゃ大したものだとは思います。ただ、ゴーダさんはここでは最も年季の短い使用人。ご自身のそれまでの積み重ねによるプライドもあられたのでしょう。彼は自分より長い年季を持ちながらも、未熟で人生経験も及ばないシャノンさんとカノン君をことあるごとにいびられ
Oh,
るの。
so he's mad. So he's just mad. He's just mad at what you're saying. Okay, cool.
また気の毒なことに夏日奥様にも嫌われております。もちろん年季という意味では奥様の方が長くこの家におられます。ただこればかりは奥様にも同情しなくてはなりません。本当に親方様も罪作りな方でございます。 ご自身のちょっとした気まぐれが奥様にこれほどまでの劣等感をお与えになるとは。もちろん奥様とて内心はあの二人に辛く当たる言われは何もないことを重々承知してはおります。しかしそれが理屈で分かっているからといってどうにもならないのが人のほいたわしや。私には何もできずこうして物陰から見守ることしかできないのです。
Thank you for Gasimov with us, the reader. Yeah. Okay. Oh, damn, these people are so fucked up. Thank God I'm not one of them. Are you seeing this shit, reader? Oh. These people are awful. Thank God I'm not rich. The four of us cousins were enjoying our stories, just shooting the breeze. Anyway, they were both girls and guys here. Plus, we had people over a wide spread of ages, adult, high school, and elementary school. Even if we just talked about our own lives, the other three kept listening attentively.
なんかやっと馴染んできたぜ。ジェシカもマリアも6年前からは想像もつかないくらい成長しちまったからよ。正直なところ少しだけ違和感を持ってたんだが、こうして話をしているうちに中身はあの頃から何も変わってないことが分かったぜ。
同じ言葉を返してやるよ。バトラだって6年ぶりだってのに全然変わってねえぜ。図体がいくらでかくなっても中身は相変わらずお子様だってことだな。
Even though you're taller, you're still a fucking idiot.
マリアもお子様。
But so true, Misty. You're so right about that. Oh, so true, Misty.
マリアだっていつまでもお子
Can
様
I
じ
argue
ゃ
with
ねえ
that?
ぞ。お子様から可愛いお姫様に成長してくんだからな。そうしたらまな板みてえな胸もすぐジェシカ並みになるぞ。そしたら揉ませてくれよ。約束だぞ。
Hang on. What is it? Hang on. I forgot to cut this open. Hang on. Huh? Anyway.
揉ませる。約束する。
Butler then exploded. They killed him instantly, and that was the end to the Rokkenjima murders.
ダメだよマリアちゃん。
Well, I'm glad George is the voice of reason
そんな
here.
約束しちゃダメ。
I'm glad at least George understands. Also, Strawberry System 2012, 2022. Thank you so much for the follow.
約束したから揉ませる。
Which book is this? This is book 1, I suppose. It's Questions Arc, chapter 1. So awesome at Transformers. Well, dude, awesome! Let's go! Based! Kill yeah. But yeah, no, this I don't remember. Truth be told, I don't remember this being separated in the books. But it's Questions Arc, chapter 1. So the first 24 hours, I suppose.
マリア、約束は守る。絶対守る。
Also, I was doing voice acting, but I don't want anymore. I'm sorry. I'm never gonna go through this if I keep voice acting.
マリア、お前本当に素直ないい子だな。お前と結婚する未来の旦那さんはきっと幸せ者だぜ。
っていい話にすり替えつつ約束を保持してんじゃねえぜ。
No, this is a real understandable thank you. Woof. I like the same versions with the Rocky's prize, my preferred way to play WTC. That's also, that is completely valid. That is absolutely valid. And I do really like the charm that the Ryukishi's prize have. But you know, I felt that since I was streaming, you know, it would like go over easier, I suppose, with, you know, the stream audience. But I absolutely understand why you would like the WTC sprites. They're really charming. But yeah, I was, you know. Also, I think I got this DRM free on GOG, so.
マリア、 その約束はなしなし。
約束取り消し。
Oh, it sure is. Oh, it sure fucking is.
やっぱりバトラ君も揃って4人で集まらないといとこが集合した気がしなかったね。
And I guess it will remain incomplete because Battle exploded for saying that Kera shit.
この6連はやっぱり寂しかったよ。
そうだな。
Oh, by the way, no spoilers because I'm barely through the game. Okay, I have completed chapter 1, but nothing after that. So.
こういうふざけた話にはならなかったな。でも建設的な話はできてたと思ったぜ。将来に対する心構えとか受験とか就職とかよ。
へっへー、悪うございましたね。俺が来たらおまぬけなドタバタばっかりでよ。
Oh, I didn't remember he doing like that. That voice is funny.
でもマリアは今年のが楽しい。
そうだね。僕も同感。今年が一番楽しいよ。
Maria's sincere words probably spoke for everyone present. George Aniki stroked Maria's head, and she giggled like a happy kitten.
失礼いたします。お食事のご用意ができました。
A timid knocking sound and the equally timid voice of a young woman came through the door. Jessica answered brightly, "Shannon, moment, let's go!" Then finally, with me, guys. It's all worth it. Oh, it's Shannon, you say. Hopefully there's no one here that has some complexes about
マト
Shannon.
ラは覚えてるだろ。
Jessica stood up from the bed and opened the door. There stood a servant girl who must have been about her age.
ご無沙汰いたしております。バトラ様、6年ぶりでございます。シャノンです。
Trembling a little as she noticed me, she bowed deeply.
ジェシカにも驚かされたが、シャノンちゃんにも驚かされたぜ。あんたもすっかり美人になったじゃねえのよ。
もったいないお言葉。強烈。
しかしよ、この島じゃよっぽど食事の栄養価が高いんじゃ
Butler just cannot stop hitting on women. What is wrong with him?
何を食ってどこを鍛えたらそんなにでっかいお胸になるんだか。ジェシカとどっちがでけえかちょいと触って確かめさせてもらうぜ。
Can we kill him now? Can we kill him now? With both hands poised and he has every disease and he's about to have another one which is called being killed. For the sake, I'd like to point out that I don't suffer from any strange disease. For the sake of justice and my personal honor, I would like to point out that I don't suffer from some strange disease that makes my lymph node itch until I scratch my neck open. Or something like that. I don't know. I feel like this is a reference to something. I don't know what it is. It's good, actually, don't worry. Seems you're a what now? I don't. I'm sorry. I don't buy what that shit. So come back next week. No pursuits in the chat. Lol. Bye. This is just a battler style method of communication. If I slowly close in, okay, hang on. He's cooking something, and I wanna see what it is, kind of a little bit. It's gonna be rancid and burnt, but I wanna see what it is. If I slowly close in on her like this, odds are 8 or 9 out of 10 that I get slapped or clover, right? So I can use this butter sum or each other technique to spark a gag like that and break the ice. That's so cool, dude. That's awesome. Great for you, my man. Like that's great. What a massive brain that you have right here. I was just gonna I'm just gonna do some sexual harassment on some, on some unsuspecting girls, and that will break the ice somehow. That's great. Yeah, sure. Well, that's yeah. Oh, look, that what will happen. Oh, hi, Shannon. The fucking what's his name? Butler moment. She blurs and lowered her head in embarrassment when she realized what was going on, but she stood there with both hands pointedly joined in front of her and tried to resist or cover her breast. Hey, I wasn't planning on this! Which is why I was glad that Jessica chose that time to drive her elbow into the back of my head. Oh.
ジェシカ、ありがとうよ。
なんで私が感謝されんだ？お？
Jessica literally was like, huh?
いやいや、すまんぜシャノンちゃん。魅力的な胸に思わず吸着されそうになっちまったつうか。さすがにあの間合いまで来たら犯罪確定だろ。
That sure sounds about right. Well, so what's that say about what happened just now? Also, yeah, no, Jessica is like so base for trying to kill Butler in cold blood. That's like the correct thing to do in this situation.
ダメだぜ。抵抗しなきゃよ。
ですけど、バトラ様は大切なお客様ですし。
あのな、お客様でも犯罪は犯罪。
Shannon just cannot get a break. Shannon just cannot get a break at all, can she?
女の子の胸はだいたい10センチくらいからが防空識別圏だな。2センチ圏まで侵入してきたら、これはもう領空侵犯だぜ。スクランブル発進で即ビンタを食らわせてやれ。
そんなことできません。私たちはその家具ですし。
I don't know. I guess she was supposed to needs. I got like this. Needs some urgent protection.
今時こんな献身美徳な子がいるとは。軽いめまいすら覚えるぜ。でもダメだ。ダメなんだ。
Why did random capitalize O in the
俺がいやら
middle?
しい顔で迫る。ハッタウス。いや、エッチ。そういうお約束じゃないとオチがつかねえんだよ。
Can we kill him already?
答えてくれよ。こうバチンと。
お願いは聞けません。家具ですから。でも命令ならお聞きします。それが務めですから。
じゃあ命令させてもらうことにするよ。
Then I'll make it another Shannon kill.
次からバトラ君が胸に触ろうとしてきたら、平手打ちで反撃すること。いいね。
Okay.
仰せつかりました。以後そのようにさせていただきます。バトラ様、ご承知おきくださいませ。
Shannon Chen announces this while bowing elegantly to me. Her expression was radiant. I gave her a thumbs up to show her I was fine with that.
6年前はお手伝いさんの連れ子がついでにお手伝いみたいな印象だったんだけど、すっかり一人前の使用人さんだな。今年で何年になるんだ？
はい、おかげさまで10年ほどお使いさせていただいております。
Oh, she's that. I mean, she's Shannon. That's what it says. The kanji for her name are read as Shannon. Now, here's another name that's far from typical for a Japanese person. Back in the day, I was a kid myself. Can you believe that? So I accepted her name without paying it much attention. Thinking about it now, though, her name's pretty unusual, even though she's not a member of the Oshiromiya family. Maybe it's like a servant professional name or something. If so, that might explain why her name is so similar to Canon-kun, that kid I met earlier in the Rose Garden. She's a long-term servant who served here since she was 6 years old. Her appearance had changed so much that I couldn't match her to the person of my memories. But we both knew each other 6 years ago. That shy part of her had always been there, but she didn't seem to have developed the allure you would expect of a girl her age. Name after the Canon company, yeah, it's fucking. They name Canon like that because like anytime that the Canon fucking Butler and oh my god, I keep forgetting the names. Canon Butler and Shannon are together. Canon just goes like what is it? Oh my god, I'm trying to look for the fucking thing. Canon just goes for like, oh, this is going into my cringe compilation. I'm not gonna read that. I'm not going to tell you this, Butler, but I'm not gonna read that little thing.
弟というわけでは。でも、私のことを姉と慕ってくれます。何か失礼なことはしませんでしたか？
相変わらずいつも通りだぜ。もうちょっと愛想よくすればいいのによ。もったいない。
カノン君がご迷惑をおかけしたようで申し訳ございません。
別に迷惑なんか何も。同じ男としてわかるさ。ありゃ気難しい年頃だ。愛想が悪いのは当たり前だぜ。
おい、マリアもよく言われる。
Oh, Maria, that's not a good thing.
愛想悪いって言われる。
Maria, that's not a good thing to relate to.
マリア様は愛想悪くなんかありません。一緒が良かった。
食事の準備ができたんだっけ？
はい。失礼いたしました。お食事のご用意が整いましたので、皆様をお屋敷へご案内いたします。
Wouldn't it be really funny if like my food just arrived and I had to go to the door because of like the food is ready, your meal is ready, let me get it to the mansion. Oh, also by the way, the food is ready. Shannon bowed again formally and returned to her duty mode. We realized that if we made her stick around for any more light conversation, it would actually make it harder for her to do her job. We got up of our butts to avoid interfering with her work any further.
じゃあ、お屋敷に行こうか。みんなもお腹が空いてたところでしょ。
だな。ゴーダさんがいる時の飯は楽しみなんだよ。あの人、どこぞの有名ホテルでシェフをやってたらしくて、かなり料理の腕があるんだぜ。
ほうほう、それ楽しみ。行こうぜマリア。ガツガツ犬みたいに食い散らかすぞ。
犬みたいに食い散らかす。
ダメダメ。バトラ君の言うことはいちいち真に受けちゃダメだよ。全部冗談なんだから。さあ、行こう行こう。
Okay, Maria, don't take what Butler says too seriously because he's like a dumbass. He's an idiot, so like he doesn't know anything. Also, like I wouldn't trust him with like I wouldn't trust him with a cup of water, let alone any kind of knowledge. Under Shannon's chance guidance, we headed towards the mansion. And we're getting a little montage of us getting to the mansion, just going through the garden, you know. Met once again by the magnificent Rose Garden, we continued onward as the intimidating mansion of the Ushiromiya head family came into view. It had apparently been built shortly after the war, so you could feel the dignity of almost a half-century hanging over about it. The building was gorgeous on the surface, but old as it was, equipment such as its AC and heating were apparently quite frail. According to Jessica, midwinter was especially tough, with all the drafts. Sorry. Haven't these people ever heard of a kotatsu? Like, come on, dude! It's the fucking 20th century. Like, my goodness. It's 1987, dude. Like, come on, get on with the times. As we entered the entrance hall, an aged servant greeted us. Imagine being wealthy and not fixing that. Exactly. Apparently, wealthy people are like such cheapskates and like incredible. Though it's insane. Like, imagine. Now him, I remembered. Genji-san, who had been working here longer than anyone, filled the role of head servant.
バトラ様、お久しゅうございます。
As our eyes met, he greeted me with a calm, composed voice. His bow wasn't as graceful or refined as Goda, but despite its simplicity, he communicated his feelings very well.
源氏さん、本当にお久しぶりっす。お元気そうですね。
おかげさまで健やかに過ごさせていただいております。バトラ様こそご立派になられました。親方様の若き日に少し似てこられましたな。
俺がじい様にってことは、さぞやじい様は若い頃モテたろうな。
I look like grandfather?
ここからはシャノンに代わって私がご案内申し上げます。どうぞこちらへ。
Shannon-chan bowed deeply and watched us leave. After that, we headed toward the dining room and under Genji-san's guidance. Genji-san, just like Kumasawa-san, stood in stark contrast to us young people, who had grown beyond recognition over the last 6 years. His appearance was exactly the same as in my memories of him 6 years ago. If it was as though time had stopped since the last time we met. Genji-san was an extremely quiet and diligent person. He was basically grandfather's close aide or caregiver, and you might even call him grandfather's companion of many years. In fact, it seems he was by grandfather's side even more than my late grandmother was. Interesting. According to Jessica, grandfather trusted him more than any of his blood relatives. But I wonder how long he served. I wonder how long he has served, if you know what I mean. I never got the details, but I heard something about him being here since the very beginning, when this mansion was first constructed. Which would mean he's dedicated half of his life to serving here. Thank you for serving. It's easy to see why he's so trusted. As we passed through a massive hall that extended up into the second story of the mansion with no separating floor, I spotted something that hadn't existed in my memory of 6 years ago. Oh baby, there she is! We finally get to see her, baby. Oh yeah, that's what I'm fucking talking about. Now, who's that tall glass of water? Hello, is she single? Oh my god. Dude, she's just like me, for real. It was an awfully big portrait hanging right in front of the stairs that rose to the second floor. Without thinking, I stopped walking, captivated by it. Dude, you and me same? Since I stopped so fast, Maria, who was following behind me, ran into my back.
ああ、悪い。なあ、ジェシカ。あんな絵、前はあったっけ？
Hey Jessica, who's the lesbian on the portrait? I pointed at the big, prominently displayed portrait in the hall. Everyone else stopped too.
ああ、そっか。バトラが来てた頃には、あれはかけられてなかったっけ？いつからだったかな。
確か。
Granda's lesbian icon, yeah, exactly. Like, bro, stop trying to call for her. She doesn't care about you. She's having sex with women.
僕の記憶が正しければ、一昨年あたりだったと思うよ。
さようでございます。 一昨年の4
hang
月
on.
に
Before this get
親方様がかねてより画家に命じて描かせていたものをあそこに展示なされたのでございます。
Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. Anyway, correct April of the year before last. The mother of the display. Yeah, okay.
あのじいさまがね、わざわざ描かせてるか。
The portrait suited this Western mansion, and that woman in the elegant dress gave off a sense of refinement. I couldn't have guessed her age, but her sharp eyes and the strong will she seemed to possess made her look youthful. She seemed somehow different from the composed, middle-aged woman you often see in famous pictures. If she had the normal black hair, I might have assumed it was a portrait of my long-deceased grandmother in her prime. However, she had beautiful blonde hair, and didn't look Japanese at all.
で、誰だい？このご婦人はよ。
Who is this woman? Question number one. Question number two. What's her number? Also, I did not read that. Maria answered a simple question enthusiastically, as though proud she knew the answer.
マリア知ってる、ベアトリーチェ。
ベア、なんだって？
ベアトリーチェ、魔女だよ。バトラ君は昔聞かされたことない？
魔女？って、この島の？
I think I already said this, but Rokenjim is a small island, only 10 kilometers in circumference. However, that's actually pretty massive, considering that only the Yoshiremiya family lives here. So, only the harbor and the area around the mansion were set up to be lived in. Beyond that, the island remains as untouched as when it was uninhabited. The vast and empty forest had absolutely no lights, phones, or people passing through. To understand how dangerous that is, you need to forget your common sense as a city dweller, which I know you are. I know what you are. After all, if you happen to fall down a hole in the depths of the forest and sprain your ankle, no one would come save you, no matter how much you cried or screamed. Then, once the sun set down, the forest would be wrapped in complete darkness since there were no streetlights. And since there were no signs, it'll be easy to get lost and confused, losing your sense of direction inside that dark forest. Nowadays, most people see a forest as a peaceful place. But to the people of bygone eras, before the lights of civilization drove out the night, forests were as geographically separated from civilization as the sea. They were oceans above the ground. Fishermen who go out into the ocean and are putting their lives at risk, despite their technical knowledge. In the same way, hunters who go out to the forest are in danger, despite having specialized knowledge of their own. If children were to go play in such a dangerous forest, something terrible might happen. Someone's parents must have thought so. Maybe grandmothers first said it, or maybe it was grandfather himself. Or perhaps the story is being passed down on this island since ancient times. There is a terrible witch in the forest, so you must not go in. At some point, this ghost story of Rokkenjima was born. This is the legend of the Rokkenjima witch. That's why, when we talk about a witch on this island, we are referring to the master of that vast and savage forest. Come to think of it, when I started this mansion as a little child, during these eerie nights when the wind and rain poured on the windows, I remember being terrified by a story of the forest witch who roamed around searching for human sacrifices. So, Beatrice, huh? Or I guess Beatrice, like you guys say. When Aniki mentioned it, I searched my memory and was sure I recalled hearing a name like that when I was little.
しかし、あの魔女伝説の魔女に、ベアトリーチェなんておしゃれな名前がついてたとは、じいさまめ。孫たちが信じないもんだから、わざわざ絵に描きやがったか？
じいさまの妄想の中の魔女だよ。この絵を掲げた頃から、現実と幻想の区別がつかなくなり始めた。私たちにとっては想像の中の魔女に過ぎないけど、じいさまいる。だから、それを理解することができない私たちにもわかるよう、あの絵を描かせたって言うんだけど。
You younglings don't get it. You don't get it. You don't get the legend of the hot blonde woman that I see in my dreams. You kids don't get it. I need to show you. Look at her. She's fucking awesome, dude.
気持ち悪いったらありゃしないぜ。
お嬢様、親方様にとっては大切な肖像画です。親方様の前でそのようにおっしゃられることがございませんよ。固く。
分かってるぜ。頼まれても言わねえよ。
I keep misjudging how long these voice lines are. Jessica glanced at the portrait with an irritated gaze before turning away.
行こうよ。食堂にみんなを待たせてるよ。
I mean, can we wait like a little bit more? I just, I mean, we're sightseeing, right? Like, can we stay like here a little bit longer, please? Okay, I guess not. Only a small portion of this island was controlled by the Ushiromiya family. All of the lawless remainder was the domain of the witch, Beatrice. You might even call her the true ruler of Rokkenshima. I felt a faint revival of that unsettling sense of misfortune, which I felt when I learned of the tutelary god's shrine being struck by lightning. Lightning. There we go. And I remember that Kumasawa-san tried to tell an ominous story about Rokkenshima before Jessica stopped her. I don't know what she was trying to tell us about this island. But I do know one thing. It isn't the Ushiromiya family that rules Rokkenshima. It is the witch, Beatrice. That's right. After all, this is the witch's island. This is the witch's house. Like that one RPG maker.
What's up, Butler? Jessica!
What are you kids doing there? When I looked around, everyone was already heading towards the dining room. I hurriedly chased after them. We walked up to the huge double doors that led to the dining room. Genji-san knocked.
お子様方をお連れいたしました。失礼いたします。
The doors were open, and we were invited inside. The dining room, which looked exactly like you'd imagine a rich person's dining room to be, had a super long table that was obviously positioned with no purpose other than to make the guests conscious of the rank. Our parents were already sitting in accordance with that ordering.
遅えぞガキども。早く席につけよ。
The old bastard pressed us to sit. The only gaps in that group of people were the spots where we were supposed to sit, which only made us feel our tardiness all the more. The seat at the head of the table, called the incipient's chair, was for the most highly ranked, reserved for grandfather. It was still empty. He probably wanted to show up for last for dramatic effect. From the perspective of someone facing the incipient's chair, the incipient's chair head on, the seating order went from left to right, with the lower ranking seats progressing in rows of two further away from it. So the left-hand side of the first row, closest to the incipient's chair, was where Uncle Kraus should have sat, since he was the second highest in rank. It looked like he hadn't arrived yet, so that seat was empty. Across from his chair, on the right side of the first row, sat the eldest daughter of the family, Aunt Eva, who was the third highest in rank. The left-hand side of the second row was for the fourth highest in rank. There sat my damned dad. Oh, damn dad! Rudolph, the third of the siblings. Across from him, on the right side of the second row, sat Aunt Rosa, the youngest sibling. At this point, you may expect their husbands and wives to come next. But nope, the left-hand seat in the third row, rank number 6, belonged to Jessica. Opposite her was George Aniki. I sat next to Jessica, and Maria sat across from me. Then finally, next to me on the left-hand side of the fifth row, sat Aunt Natsuki, the 10th highest in rank. Opposite her was Uncle Hideyoshi. Next to Aunt Natsuki, in the 6th row on the final seat of the left-hand side, sat Kiryu-san. Them couples don't even get to sit together. No, because love sucks, and it's all about rank and being rich and nepotism. The seat opposite of Kiryu-san was empty, even though silverware had been set there and everything. According to this ranking system, that spot was where Aunt Rosa's husband should be sitting. Even though he wasn't supposed to be coming, his place was made up. Normally, ranking systems of this sort give spouses an equal positions as their partners, but the Ushinomiya family system was unique. Maybe it's a remnant of male chauvinism. If you start with the assumption that a woman's womb is just something to be borrowed, then the children of direct descent would come first, directly followed by their grandchildren. In other words, spouses have no blood ties and are therefore placed at the end of the line. It's terrible, but by this system, my grandmother would be ranked even lower than me, if she were still alive. In their youth, they obeyed their father. After they get married, their husband, and after aging, their children. There's the old saying, women have no home in any realm. And that's how rich people want the world to be. That's what we need to eat the rich. That's why. Long ago, when I was still incapable of figuring all this out, I thought it was so great that we could all chat in our little groups, adult siblings with adult siblings, and cousins with cousins. However, now that I can re-examine the city in order after growing up a bit, it stirs up some very complicated feelings in me. Aunt Natsuki, who was married to the eldest son and was the de facto number 2 in managing this family, sat to my right, which meant she was two steps lower than me in the ranking order. It was hard to imagine what might be going on inside her heart. That's why I made a small apologetic gesture towards her before sitting down.
お久しぶりですね、バトラ君。
Listen, say what you will about Butler, but like he's like such a befuddling character because like he will be like he will like assault Jessica and Maria for some fucking reason, and Shannon as well, and every single woman that appears in the game. But also like like he gets some stuff, you know what I mean? Like he has some redeeming qualities. He's such a character.
ずいぶん背が伸びましたね。
ああ、はい。食ったり食べたり食事したりしてたらいつの間にかこんな身長に。
さすが男の子ね。
うん。
身長はいくつくらいあるの
？180かな。つうかおばさん、そこは食べてばっかりじゃねえかって突っ込んでくださいよ。
Misogynist who is bizarrely also feminist. I can attribute it to fucking like being immature and just like growing up in this circle, and also, you know, like upbringing. So like I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, but also like Butler, you fucking pay attention, bitch.
ああごめんなさいね。
After a short pause, she did laugh with me, but it seemed she couldn't quite figure out what she was supposed to be laughing at. This woman is Aunt Natsuki. She's the wife of the eldest son of the family, meaning she's my father's oldest. What a fucking tongue twister. Meaning she's my father's older brother's wife. There we go. Is it simply we should call her Jessica's mother? Yes, it is. Thank you, Butler. It feels bad to say it like this, but while I didn't exactly dislike her, I didn't finish reading that, by the way. But I didn't exactly dislike her. I didn't particularly like her either. She hardly ever spoke with us kids, and all my memories of her involve her talking to the adults about complicated things, with a scary look on her face. In fact, since we hardly ever exchanged words, I spent a long time trying to figure out how I should approach her. Though my efforts seem to have ended in failure. Aunt Natsuki, do you know what a fortnight dance is? The silverware sat neatly on the table, but the meal itself hadn't been brought in yet. As a general rule, you couldn't start a meal until the person sitting at the head of the table arrived. So, as long as grandfather didn't come, lunch would be put on hold indefinitely. Not even the appetizers would arrive. Simply put, the silence in this room was caused by our parents enduring their hunger while they waited for grandfather to arrive. However, the grandfather from my memories will always show up on time to meals like this. He was the kind of person who would never be so late that he kept everyone waiting, especially after the entire group had arrived.
遅えな、じいさま。
No, Grandpa's napping, I guess we'll starve. Guys, Grandpa died, I'm sorry. We're gonna have to throw away all the food we made.
俺の記憶じゃ時間に厳格な人だったと思うんだけどな。
まあ6年前はそうだったかもな。最近はそうでもねえよ。というかもう自分の世界オンリーって感じで会食にも顔を出さねえぜ。さすがに今日くらいは足並みを揃えてくれるって思ってたんだけどな。まあ私は来ない方が気楽で嬉しいけどよ。
ジェシカ。
So, when her mother scolded her, Jessica stuck her tongue out and looked away. It's me. No way around it. Might as well wait until our host arrives. When I glanced at the clock, I saw that it was almost 12:20. Or noon 20, I suppose. Ushiromiya Kinzo, the family head of the Ushiromiya head family. This man could be seen in his study. The clock had already passed noon, but he didn't even attempt to rise from his seat. With his spectacles on, he built up a growing pile of books with elaborate bindings, which he then read intently. You couldn't really say that he was having too much fun to stop. Rather, he filled the room with a sense of impatience, or perhaps a sense of impending danger, as though every second wasted was a tragedy. In this sealed room, a dense dust danced through the air, which was thick with the stench of chemicals that exuded a mix of suspicious odors. Those odors were somehow sweet and heavy. If anyone with a normal nose came in here, the first thing they'd do would be to open a window and ventilate this room. The knocking against the study door had been going on for a while. A voice calling "Father" sometimes mingled with the knocks. As Kinzo heaved a deep sigh, he snapped shut the old book in his hands and slammed it on the table. Grandpa is getting into the opera again? No, Grandpa is getting into like kratom or something. He's like snorting bath salts and salvia and fucking pain thinner all at once. He's smoking that shit that makes you scared. Then he yelled at Cross, who was still knocking on the door.
やかましいその音を止めぬか愚か者叩けば扉は開かれると誰が教えた
Shut the fuck up!
そのバカ者は貼り付けにしたぞお前もそうされたいのか
お父さん年に一度の親族会議の日ではありませんか皆下に集まっていますどうかおいでください
Kraus called out to his father through the door. Kinzo always shut himself up in the study, hating it when nearly anyone, even his family, entered the room. For that reason, Kraus had no choice but to call to him from the corridor like this.
私にかがうでない皆とは何か私をここから引きずり出そうとする者どもなのかならば殺してしまいバラバラにして薪にして魔女の炉にくべてしまいその炉には鍋をかけて苦いおもぎを煮るがいい
Guys, Grandpa's talking about the witch again.
黙示録の煮汁はそれでも私をここから連れ出そうとするバカ者どもに飲ませてやれ残りは酒につけるのだああ源氏はどこだ源氏を呼べ苦害の魔酒を用意させろ
I love that this motherfucker literally drinks something called a demonic absinthe. This is what really much just Shakespeare does to a motherfucker. Yeah, this is fucking shit that you that you get on when you read fucking when you read too much Dante's Inferno.
緑の妖精のささやきが届かぬああ源氏はどこだ源氏を呼べ
On the other side of the door, Kraus, Nanjo, and Genji, my goodness, Ninjo, kept waiting for the master of the house, who stubbornly refused to come out. Come on, you cannot be in the closet for too long!
すっかり嫌われてしまったようだもう私の声では何も届かんよ
Kraus shrugged as though saying is no use, and smiled bitterly. From the beginning, he hadn't really expected his father to respond to his calls. However, since it was the duty of the eldest son, he had tried as a formality.
金蔵さんあんたの顔を見に息子や娘や孫たちが来てるんじゃないかちょっと顔を見せてやったらどうだね るさい、黙れ。私に意見するというか南條。貴様など呼んではおらぬ。私は源氏を呼べと言ったのだ。さあ急げ、すぐに呼べ。時間は常に有限だ。人たちはすでにラッパを構えているぞ。なぜにそれがわからぬか、愚かな羊どもめ。
Kanjo slammed an old heavy book against the table over and over. That racket clearly expressed his great displeasure. Dude, he's throwing a tantrum, Jesus. Giso put his spectacles down and flew up from his chair. He spread his arms wide open, as if to think to a packed opera house, as if appealing to someone, and yelled.
なぜだ。なぜにいつも私には邪魔が入るのか。すべてを捨てよう、すべてを捧げよう。その見返りに私は一つしか求めないというのに。
Here he goes again. I wonder what he will say.
Oh,
there you go.
お前の微笑みをもう一度見られるならば、私は世界中から美少を奪い取り、すべてをお前に捧げよう。
Bro, he's not into you.
おお、イナゴの軍団長たちよ。世界中から美少を刈り取り収穫せ。
Bro, she's not into you. You need to look up.
すべてが汚らわしい。すべてが煩わしい。なぜこの貴重な一日に私は邪魔を受けねばならぬのか。源氏を呼べ。
何を怒鳴ってるのかもさっぱりだな。もう頭がどうにかなっているのだろう。
Damn. Kinda fucked up. Anyway.
クラウスさん。
I'm sorry. I was stoked. Sounds like he's cooking up a herbal. Dude, fucking Catboy Kinso, let's go. Awesome.
実のお父さんに、そりゃあんまりじゃないかね。
親父はすでに死んでいる。ここにいるのは親父だったものの幻さ。いずれにせよ本人にここを出る意志がない以上どうにもならんね。
金蔵さん。
Choking coughs continued to pour from the study.
私は下に戻る。
He really seems like the herbal was really stuck in there.
ゴーダの自慢のランチをこれ以上無駄に冷ましてしまうことはない。親類たちにとって当家での数少ない楽しみだろうからな。
Kraus spun around. He looked at his watch, mumbling and acting as though he had wasted time doing something he knew would be in vain.
源氏さん、親父殿がお呼びだ。相手を頼む。
かしこまりました。
南條先生、食事に行きましょう。いつまでもここにいると、この甘い匂いで味覚までおかしくなってしまう。
I don't want to get COVID. I don't know about you. Without waiting for Nanjo, Kraus went downstairs. Genji urged Nanjo to go and eat. Nanjo glanced between the study door and Kraus's back as the latter disappeared down the stairs, and then let out a deep sigh.
源氏さん、頼みます。
はい、お任せください。
お酒はなるべく与えないように。あれは常習性が強すぎる。源氏はまだか。
He's going, jeez.
何者が源氏を阻んでいるというのか。源氏はどこだ。源氏を呼べ。
さあ、ここは お任せください。
すみませんな。
Call Genji here! Baby wants bottle!
He loves Zorowa so much.
Where's Genji? Where's Hanzo? I want them now! Medic!
Nanjo bowed slightly and descended the stairs. Genji watched him leave, then knocked on the study door.
親方様、源氏でございます。
Oh, hey, look who's there.
源氏か。何故私をこれほどに待たすのか。そこには誰もおるまいな。
はい、私だけでございます。
Ginso returned to his seat in the study and pressed an old-fashioned switch on the table. After a small delay, the heavy sound of the door unlocking could be heard. Ginso was convinced that his family wanted to make a mess of his study. Or perhaps someone had once opened the window for some air, and ended up scattering things that, to him, were important research materials, leaving him in a terrible mood. Ginso had outfitted his room with a formidable lock, preventing anyone from entering it without his permission, and thereby sealing himself in a jail of his own making. Genji, whom he trusted the most, was relatively free to enter the room, but even that didn't always hold. If Ginso was in a bad mood, even Genji wouldn't be able to enter. Anyone else would be limited to holding a conversation through the door, unable to even see Ginso's face. And most of the time, what they got could hardly be called a conversation. However, this didn't trouble the rest of the family much. After all, it just wasn't worth the effort of disturbing this aging family head, who was impossible to please and always stayed shut away, immersed in his research. Taking advantage of his refusal to leave his room, they supported his isolation, putting his care entirely into the hands of the servants.
源氏、いつものやつを頼む。私は忙しい。
はい。
Rat poison, absolutely, sir. Genji headed to a corner of the study. There, suspicious-looking bottles boasting venomous colors were on display. They were actually liquor, but considering the shady atmosphere of this room, one might easily suspect them of being some ghastly poison. I didn't know that gas in Minecraft produced poison. I thought it was just like fireballs and, tears. Inside the study, the mysterious collection of books gathered by Ginso had grown into a mountain. They were bizarre, ancient or banned books, all of them either forbidden, cursed, or sealed. But if you tried to call them old books, Ginso would fly into a rage and say, "Call them grimoires!" or whatever. There were also many mysterious objects that presumably held some meaning with regards to black magic, like candles suspiciously melted and molded into strange shapes. The constellations drawn on a certain celestial globe contained quite a few shapes that would draw puzzled looks from anyone familiar with today's night sky. The carelessly strewn about books contain many illustrations, all of them of a religious or mysterious nature, including some depicting demonically grotesque subjects or bizarre diagrams of various magic circles. And above all, a sweet, poisonous smell filled the room, profoundly assaulting the eyes and noses of those who entered for the first time. Eventually, it must surely make a person go numb and lose their grip on reality. Inside the study, Genji prepared Ginso's usual drink with a well-trained hand. No one would ever think of drinking such an ominous dark green liquid in that complex and ornate glass, unless someone first told him it was alcohol. He poured a little into the glass. Then he placed a cube of sugar in a strangely shaped spoon and poured water from a pitcher over it. And strangely, when the transparent water was poured, the dark green liquid turned into a cloudy white. It was a strange optical illusion, as though the water had caused a chemical reaction and made the drink become an even more even more unrecognizable as liquor. Even then, Genji added original flavors Kinso loved, fine-tuning his taste. There was no recipe. His success was measured only by Kinso's mood swings when he drank it, and it had taken Genji many decades to learn how to do it right. Genji placed the glass on a tray and walked over to Kinso. By this time, Kinso was gazing out of the window.
どうぞ、親方様。
Also, give me 1 second. Okay, that's what I thought. Sorry. Kinso had regained his composure. Was now unrecognizable as the shouting, screaming, yelling man from a few moments ago. Looking at this man from behind as he tilted his glass and gazed down at the scenery beyond the window, he projected a sense of dignity and intelligence. To allow Kinso to set his glass down at a time, Genji motionlessly waited behind Kinso and to his left, as though he was a living sideboard. Then, without averting his eyes from the window, Kinso held out his glass. There was only a mouthful remaining. It was not a gesture intended to set it upon the tray, but a motion to hand the glass over to Genji. Sir, I don't want to die yet.
もったいないお言葉です。
私とお前の中に儀礼はいらぬ。飲め、友よ。
いただきます。
Hey, what did they mean by this? What's happening here? Genji respectfully received the glass and inclined it a little to taste its contents. After that, he gulped it down.
お前が作るのを真似ているのだがどうにも同じ味が出ぬ。お前が作る方がうまい。
ありがとうございます。親方様のご指導の賜物です。
Kinso smiled at his loyal subject, who refused to put aside rank even when asked to. However, he was not making fun of him. His smile was relaxed, as though chuckling at a close friend's old unshakable habit.
互いに老いたな。年を数えることも忘れてすでに久しい。
Llega Bota?
今日まで過ごすことをお許しいただけたのも、すべて親方様のおかげでございます。
Kinso gave a faint smile, as if to say he didn't need any flattery.
今日まで本当によく私に仕えてくれた。息子たちは誰もが私を変人呼ばわりした。大勢いた使用人も皆私を恐れてやめていった。お前だけが今でも私に仕えてくれる。も
ったいないお言葉です。
私の余命もそう長くはあるまい。息子たちは私の遺産がいつ転がり込んでくるかをうろうろ待つハゲタカばかりだ。クラウスの愚か者は金を湯水のように使い、1枚の金貨を売るのに2枚の金貨を捨てておる。それで金を稼げたなどと妄言を。エヴァは金の亡者だ。あやつは私を鶏か何かだと思っておる。死んだらガラにして出汁まで取る気だ。ルドルフの間抜けは女遊びばかり。ローザはどこの馬の骨ともわからん男の赤ん坊など産みおって、ジェシカは無能で無学だ。
Okay, fuck you.
ジョージには男としての器がない。
Hello? Go fuck yourself. No, you're wrong. The other ones you were right, but not these guys.
バトラーは後宮家の栄誉を自ら捨ておった愚か者だ。マリアなど見るのも汚らわしい。
Butler is a bit of a fool. Also, Maria is like 9.
なぜだ、なぜに後ろ宮の血はこうも無能なのか。私の築き上げた栄光を受け継ぐにふさわしい者はおらんのか。ああ、分かっておるとも。これがベアトリーチェの呪いであることも分かっておる。黄金の魔女め、それが私への復讐のつもりか。憎みたくば憎むがよい。逃げたければ逃げるがよい。逃がさぬ、逃がさぬ、逃がさぬ、逃がさぬわ。お前は私のものだ。常に私の腕の中でなくてはならん。私の生涯のすべてなのだ。
Why is he tie over his little garb? Listen to what he's saying right now. About have you seen who she's talking about? He's a dumbass. He's a fool. He's an idiot. That's why. Because he's stupid. He's stupid. Give me 1 second. I just realized something. Huh. Okay, well, whatever.
我が鳥かごにて永遠に私だけにささやき続けるのだ。ベアトリーチェ、なぜに微笑み返してはくれぬ。
I love the capitalization. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
ベアトリーチェ。
One second. Beatrice should take because my heart, I love her. Ooh, grow up, dude. After howling, Kinso choked again. Genshi set the tray and glass down and rubbed his master's back. Genshi's facial expression did not change. It was always like this. Kinso began to mold and to cope and seethe. When his seemingly deranged fate subsided, Kinso regained his composure once again. It was like seeing two different people, a wild Kinso and a composed Kinso, living together inside one body.
私は決心した。このままぼやききった妖精を怠慢に過ごすことなど、もうこの身に最後にとするコインがあるならば、それを悪魔たちのルーレットに託してみたい。魔法の力はいつもかけるリスクで決まる。日本古来の呪術である牛の国参りがそうであろう。7日間儀式を目撃されてはならないというリスクを支払うからこそ、困難なリスクが生じれば生じるほどに魔力は強く生じるのだ。神話に登場する数々の奇跡は天文学的リスクに奇跡的な低確率を得て成就した驚愕すべき魔力の結晶なのだと言える。モーゼが海を割ったのは神の奇跡ではない。蹂躙の計りに乗せられ軍勢によって航海に追い詰められた絶体絶命のリスクが奇跡の魔力を生んだのだ。同じことが同じ規模で繰り返されようとも再び海が割れることはないだろう。なぜならモーゼは力ある者たちのルーレットの阿葬儀ナユタをかけたよりも多く存在する目の中に一つだけ刻まれた奇跡を見事引き寄せることができたからだ。その天文学的確率に勝利できる力、そう奇跡をつかみ取る運気はすなわち魔力なのだ。 強大な魔力を売るためには絶望的なリスクを背負わねばならぬ。
Sorry. Face the risk what?
魔力持たぬ者はそれを賭けでなく自暴自棄と呼ぼう。しかし真に魔力ある者はその奇跡をつかみ取り神秘を成就させるのだ。もしも私にその魔力があるならば、私はその奇跡をつかみ取るだろう。生涯を費やした願いを実現できるだろう。
Kinso looked up to the sky outside the window. He spread his arms as if appealing to someone up in the skies.
もし私にその奇跡を手にする資格があったら、
I really love the fucking vocalizations that DBA for Kinso does.
Beatrice! Beatrice! お前の愛くるしい笑顔をもう一度だけ見せてくれ。どれほどの月日を経ようともお前の面影が消えることはない。
This is like the scene in the lighthouse when William Dafoe yells because of the soup. No, yeah, that's the thing. This bitch and that one, that bitch from the White House, from the lighthouse that William Dafoe plays, they're like the same character. They're like so the same, dude. Fucking love that.
ただお前の美少が見たい。それお前から授かったものを全て返そう。あの日からの栄光を全てお前に返そう。
That one mermaid that those two bitches wanted to fuck on the lighthouse, that is Beatrice.
富も名誉も黄金もいらぬ。
The difference is that Beatrice is epic.
お前に授かった全てを返そう。私はただお前の美少が見たいだけなのだ。五章だ、ベアトリーチェ。
Okay, I'm really glad I turned on the Japanese voices. These are really good. His nonsensical yells became a scream, and then a wail. Kinso slumped to the floor, staring at it with both hands. His yells are so fucking good, dude. Genshi had no choice but to wordlessly watch over his master's lamentations. Yeah, there's no way I could have a match that trying to quote-unquote voice act.
当主様は具合が優れられないとのことだ。せっかくこうして1年ぶりの会合に集まってくれた諸君と昼食を共にできることを非常に残念にしておられた。
He seems sad. I don't think he was sad because of that, baby boy.
ゴーだ。ランチを始めてくれ。
Also, give me 1 second. I'm gonna serve myself some coke. BRB. Okay, sorry, I'm back. The Kraus looks like the president from Sonic. Don't say that about the president from Sonic. What did he do? Well, I mean, he's the president from the country, I suppose. So it's not that good, but still, come on, don't say that about him. Come on, anyway.
かしこまりました。それでは本日の昼食を始めさせていただきます。
南條先生、そんなにお父様のお具合は悪いの？せめて顔くらい見せてくれてもいいわよね。
体調というよりは機嫌ですな。こればかりはつける薬がありませんので。
おいおい、機嫌ってまたかよ。そりゃないぜ。
He needs some therapy. That is my professional recommendation.
こちとら、秋のクソ忙しい時期にスケジュール都合してご機嫌伺いに来てるんだ。それをよ。
よかったじゃないか、ルドルフ。ご機嫌は伺えたんだ。それとも不機嫌な親父殿を私に代わり、お前が説得して連れてきてくれるのかね。
まさか。
Rudolph shrugged. Apparently, though Rudolph was willing to be indignant at how self-centered his father was, he wasn't particularly disappointed to be spared a face-to-face meeting.
夕食までにはその機嫌治りそうなの？クラウス兄さん。
そんなことは知らんよ。親父殿に直接聞いてみるといい。もっとも声をかけない方が機嫌の治りは早いと思うがね。
源氏さんだけだよ。じい様の機嫌を直せるのは。情けないぜ。自分の親の機嫌を使用人に直させるんだからよ。
ジェシカ、余計なことは言わなくていい。
I said you're lame, old man! She planned for her complaint to be heard only by her cousins, but it had reached even Cross's ears. Scolded, Jessica scowled and turned away, sulking.
機嫌がうんぬんってことは病状はそんな悪くないんじゃねえの？元気がないってんならともかく機嫌が悪いってのは少なくとも気はしっかりしてる証拠だぜ。
おじい様は特に強い気力をお持ちだからね。
What kind of whisper would that be if her cousins are all across the table? Well, I mean, it's like right across the table. They're probably just like hunched over, you know, like just talking like, you know what I mean? Like they're probably just like leaning over on the table. I think should be fine.
でも体が必ずしもそれに伴えるとは限らないよ。去年からずっと余命3ヶ月って言われ続けてる。最初の診断が正しいなら、おじい様は気力だけで流らえてるってことになる。気遣ってあげないといけないよ。
Just 3 more months, dude. Come on, just give it 3 more months. Just 3 more months and we'll be able to do this. Okay, just 3. Lunch started with the family head seat and still empty. The man who should be sitting there had already grown old, and the brilliant glory which had rebuilt the Oshiramiya family in the span of a single lifetime was being forgotten. Even though they were beginning the meal with that seat still empty, no one felt it was that odd anymore. Bro, who did that? Who broke it? Come on, guys. Just tell me that I won't be mad. Jump scare, yeah, fucking broken glass jump scare. Okay. I think that's gonna be it for tonight. We're having like small streams of this. Smaller than I would prefer. Also, we have so many people here. Smaller than I would prefer, but hopefully next time will be a bit of a longer stream. Hopefully. Just, you know, I just need to eat, and also I like voice actor for the first hour or so. So my voice is kind of raspy. and also fucking what do you call it? Whatchamacallit? The what was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the fucking bot stopped for a second. So I have to go stitch that together. So like the longer the bot is, like the longer it's gonna take me to get the bot released on the bot channel. So hopefully next stream will be go around smoother, and we have, you know, a better a longer time meeting the colorful characters of the Shiromiya family. So yeah, thank you so much for coming, everyone. Again, thank you for the stream. No, again, thank you so much for watching. I know how heavy and how time consuming and how much of a commitment this stream series can be. So like any person watching means the world to me. So thank you so much for coming, and I hope to see you next time, which probably would be next Saturday. Barring like, you know, force majeure, act of God happening, you know. So yeah, having a lot of fun. So hopefully get to see you next stream. So yeah. What else? Oh yeah, tomorrow. Wait, tomorrow. Do we have anything tomorrow? No, I don't have any stream tomorrow. Never mind. Tomorrow nothing. We are. I'm gonna let you know the schedule for next week. On Monday probably. And yeah, it's gonna be cool. So thank you so much for coming in, everyone. I'll see you later. So we're gonna raid. Let me check. Let me check who we're gonna raid, because there's many people actually live. But four of the people I see here are playing Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, which but someone is playing Twilight Princess, which like that's something new that I haven't seen people play, I suppose. So let's go raid Robbie. Why don't we do that? Okay, so classic, you know, classic Robbie Dude raid. So let's go do that. The raid for is gonna be do you think I would have a shot if I ask the Golden Witch out? Why, and be honest. And that's gonna be the raid phrase. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope to see you next time, whatever that happens. I hope you have a good night. And yeah, I suppose say hi to Roy for me. I mean, not really, because I'm gonna be watching. But you know, yeah. Yeah, that's it. So I'm just waiting for the stream to load on my end. There you go. There we go. Okay, thank you so much for coming, everyone. I'll see you next time. Bye.